Alright, how y'all doing? This is DEMARIS with More Than This. Not sure how long my phone's going to let me record, so hey man, thanks for waiting on me. Had this company come in, and Christine and her crew kind of sorting out my mom and grandmother's and some of my stuff too to put on auction. So most of it's on auction now, and let's hope that we can make some money with it, because make it worth her time and mine. But I appreciate you. Thanks, Christine. I love you. I mean, y'all became like family, but I'm glad y'all are like family, because just like family, I'm glad to see you go. All right, so I've been busy. Now I needed to sleep for about 2 or 3 days to catch up on all that stress for me anyway. But I appreciate their help at carrying transitions out of San Antonio. And I had initially heard about him on Dr. Phil. So you know how you just hear something on TV at the right moment, and it was the thing you needed. And of all things, it was Dr. Phil. Whatever works. Anyway, she's a good woman, got a good group of people, and very respectful of my household and everything. So I appreciate your help, and let's hope we make some money. Okay, I already put it out there, so put it in the universe, something good. I moved today. I don't have time to dicker around right now, because like I said, I don't know how long this phone is going to let me record. I'm trying to work on my laptop right now and see if it's going to be any good. I bought a camera and put the card into the camera, and it says it's full, it's corrupt. I'm like, seriously? I mean, I'm just going to have to blow it off as it's just not what I'm supposed to do at the moment. So here we are. Talking to a close friend of mine yesterday, and it seems like every time I talk to her, you know, she's busy, not making enough money. She's always saying stuff about, I just work to pay the bills. I just work to pay the bills. And she's like, are you there? And I'm like, yeah, I was just thinking. And it took me back to one of the things I had to learn. You know, I watched The Secret. I read the book The Secret on how to manifest things in your life, to the law of attraction. And for some reason, that didn't work for me. I watched Abraham Hicks. So with Abraham Hicks, I love Abraham Hicks. Sometimes, as she's channeling, it can get a little wordy for me. I'm kind of a get to the point person, you know, of things. But you know, it started to make a little more sense. Some of the ways that Esther was channeling Abraham and explaining that your thoughts have a lot to do with it. And the law of attraction puts it out there one way, and I think between the two, it started kind of clicking. And the way I gathered it was, and maybe it can help you. And of course, there's Tom T. Moore's, you know, most benevolent one. You know, give me the best outcome for this situation. But you know, Mr. Tom T. Moore also interesting watch. I highly suggest y'all go to his channel too. I think what he reminded me was that in the law of attraction, like say when the billions were up for lottery, I bought lottery tickets, and it just wasn't. I wasn't in alignment with it as far as my soul contract. Now, if I go and play a $30,000 scratch off and I win, then that was in alignment with my soul contract. So not everything that you want to manifest is going to be in your soul contract at this point in time in your life. Maybe it is later in your life, but at this point in time in your life and what you're asking for, it perhaps may not be your time for it, for you to experience that blessing. So it takes me back to also, I'm getting the cart before the horse a little bit, but like with my friend, how she always talks about just always working, always paying bills, always working, always paying bills. I never do anything. I don't go anywhere. And when I got quiet and she wanted to know what was I thinking, I explained to her that, you know, what we say and think, we bring to us. And when it comes to stuff like that, it's very true. I think that can happen just about any time. If you're a negative person and a woe is me type person, then you're going to continue attracting that negative and woe is me type of energy towards you. So be careful of what you think. I know, like with Abraham Hicks, they said, you know, you hold a thought in your head for 17 seconds, speech impediment, for 17 seconds, and then you release it. And I don't know if there's like a certain amount of seconds to hold it or not. I'm not sure. I haven't practiced that part. But what I have learned in my life and what I started doing and what changed my world was I quit thinking in that negative space. There were years when I was working my butt off constantly to be able to come home and feed my animals and pay the bills, but I had no meat on the bone to buy myself some groceries and stuff. It was a hell of a diet, I promise you. And it was tough, it was hard, and it was a struggle. And I kept going back to the thought, well, you're creating your struggles. You're creating your struggles by not getting rid of things you can't afford. You're creating your struggles by ego, holding on to a home you can't afford. You're creating your struggles by constantly worrying about the next payment and worrying about going to work, paying the bills, and never going anywhere. You live in that reality, and therefore you're making that reality. And through that, I had to make some tough decisions. I let go of my home, and it was awesome. Went and bought a travel trailer, stuck it out in front of Mom's house, and started socking back money. And then all of a sudden, next thing I know, my back is screwed up from stem to stern, pretty much. I mean, they didn't get to the neck surgery yet, and they're not going to, as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to live with it. But having my spine replaced from at the neck down to the toe bone, I was so grateful I didn't have that extra. It was kind of like the universe says, now that you can breathe, we're going to take care of what the rest of you needs done. And the reason you can't feel your legs when you're on your horse, and the reason you're having such pains and you're miserable, is because you've been holding and carrying all this weight, and now it's affected your body, so now we're going to take care of you. And boy, did they. So through that, I ended up losing my job because I couldn't do my job. And once I made one decision, it was like a domino effect of things happening, but the domino effect of what would normally be in some people's eyes a horrible thing was a beautiful thing. So ended up getting another home put on the property of my mom's. She had 2 acres, had room, and getting rid of the travel trailer. Now I'm set. I can afford it. Everything is coming to me. Money is coming to me. I have a savings account. Everything is great. I'm recovering still from a back surgery, and I'm determined to not let that make me a total invalid, because at one point in time they didn't even know how long I'd be able to walk or when I'd be in a wheelchair. Used a cane for years up until guess this year, and I put the cane down. I said I don't need it. I just can't do that. I can't have that. I have my service dog, which I need her. I need her to pick up stuff for me and do things around when I'm not feeling that great. Because I'm not 100% by no means. But everything just changed. Got off all the painkillers. I haven't done a prescribed medication in years. And Mom was diagnosed with dementia. Took care of her. Started reinvented myself as an artist. It took that one decision, that one egotistical thing that I was trying to do so hard to butt against my prosperity, making that one decision to let ego go and understand I have to put it into the universe's hands. And I have to change the way I think about everything. I have to stop thinking poor. I have to stop thinking where, oh, I only have this much money in the bank, or don't even think about that. Don't worry about it. And ever since then, it's always been there. And it just always has started being there. And I'm not bragging. I'm not saying I'm wealthy. Don't come asking to borrow money. But it took a decision to set my life up for the next best thing, best thing, to where I have security. If you're out there and you're struggling, stop and think, what is it that you need to let go? Whether it's something emotional, or if it's a physical thing that just keeps dragging you down, a piece of property, something material. Think hard about your thought. Think about, do you worry about that? How often do you worry about it? Do you worry about how much you're going to get paid? Do you worry about whether you can afford your next bills? When you stay in that thought, you create that thought into your life. You manifest that into your life. So I have learned that my way of dealing with the law of attraction took a lot. It took, I think, harder than getting rid of my horses and my steers and the house. And I think what the hardest part to do was to stop the negative thinking. Stop living in that realm of worry and stress and what am I going to do? Where am I going to get this? How am I going to handle that? Just let it go. You just finally have to say, I'm only me and I can't handle this anymore. And I'm handing it over to you to help me. And it didn't happen in a day. But it did happen. And it can happen to you. But when you watch too much negativity on TV, like the news, or entertainment news, whatever you want to call it, you see all the stuff that's going on now. Whether you like what you think you see, there's going to be something negative that brings up negative in there. Turn the channel. Watch something funny, romantic comedy, or, connect with your partner if you have one, your husband, your wife, your brothers, your sisters, your kids, your whomever's, connect to an actual soul and find joy. Unless they don't bring you joy, then don't connect to them, okay? Because that's another thing. You want to try to stay away from anybody else who's negative. And oh my goodness, there are so many people who love living in that realm. And that's their journey. That's their journey. That's not my journey. My journey is peace, living in Zen, being happy and not worry, and I don't take on anybody else's. And that was another thing I had to do, was to let go of people that do not fit into my journey. That doesn't mean I can't say hi to them every now and then, or, have a conversation, but I don't expect it to be too deep. But I keep it brief. I mean, you just gotta release them and love them, and hopefully they'll figure out their way, just like we have to figure out ours. But those are some ideas. Maybe through my experience, it can help you with your experience if you're going through that right now. Maybe you're living without a vehicle, and you just don't see any end to the tunnel, and what light you do see, you're afraid it's a train coming, because there goes that negative thought again. But figure out what it is that you're doing in your life to keep you in that life. Because there's something you're doing wrong, and that's why you're not seeing any change. I didn't see any change. I lived most of my from graduation till, quite a few years back, in absolute unknown on what was going to happen next. I had actually been homeless, sleeping on people's couches, and I've gone without food. I've been there, and it just took one decision, was to let my ego go, let things material go, and after the house, and then I had the surgery, I ended up having to let my horses go. Oh, that killed me. I can let my steers go. That killed me. That hurt a lot. But what a relief. Now I'm so grateful I don't have those things. And in turn, I now have a home that's paid for, and I have my blessings, and it can happen. It's going to take a while, but it's going to take you and you only, to make the decision of what it is that I'm doing. What am I doing? What am I holding on to? What do I have inside of me that's keeping me from realizing I'm worth more than this life? There is more than this. And what am I doing, and what do I need to do to get myself to the point I want to be, the point I deserve to be? Anyway, when I explain these things, I really hope it helps. And just know that I do it not out of judgment. I'm just sharing my journey and what helped me. And I hope it gets you to a step. Tom Timor, awesome dude. If you don't watch Abraham Hicks, I suggest you see if that vibes with you, that connects with you. If The Secret, in The Secret they leave out some middle stuff, so I would actually go to those two for starters, and maybe it'll take you to wherever. But I wish you the best of luck, and you can still get a hold of me at DEMARIS, DEMARIS Wilson 444 at gmail.com. Give me some questions. I don't really care to continue to do a lot of political readings unless I have a reader with me that reads politics. Then I'll be happy to go there. But it's really not my forte. And I don't do cards. I don't know. God, man, I admire the people that know how to read cards. But I do pendulum work, and mostly my information comes from source, and my guides and angels and whatever all that is, that equals source. So give me a holler if you got any questions about deceased loved ones, or somebody you'd like to hear from, or a friend, or a pet, or you have an existing pet, or you have a possible job situation coming up. I can read into that too. All right? And that's what I want to do. I want to help y'all. I want to be there for y'all. And that's why I'm telling you my stories. And that's why I use me so much. Because I may not be living your life, but I've lived mine. I love you. And please, please, please let me know. Hit the like, share, notification bell. See you next time. You'll be seeing me more. Bye.